On a recent Sunday morning, a small group of parishioners gathered for the 9 a.m. Mass at Our Lady of Angels in Sherman Heights. There was supposed to be a choir for this service, but a concert in Tijuana kept them away. Father Agustin Apolalic, the church's pastor, suggests the congregation sing anyway. Our Lady of Angels is one of 98 parishes in the Roman Catholic Diocese of San Diego.
Morning, Father.
It's not a wealthy church. Every Sunday they raise money by serving a breakfast of Mexican food on the church lawn. Catherine Willits has been going to this church since the early 70s. She knows a fair bit about the new pope, thanks to all of the media attention surrounding Pope Francis. She likes his focus on the poor and needy.
The church has been very strictly hierarchical for a very long time and very formal and emphasis on ritual, and having the emphasis on helping other people in the world and evangelism seems much more in keeping with Christ's message.
Father Opalalic appreciates the fact that the Pope is from Latin America.
I like him. Yeah, first because he is not totally European. It shows that the church is universal.
Father Opalalic calls Pope Francis a media darling. Stories have been circulating for months about everything from the old car Pope Francis drives to his very simple dress to a photograph that went viral showing his embrace of a disfigured man in St. Peter's Square. Pope Francis even poses for selfies and has over 10 million followers on Twitter. Compared to past popes, this kind of engagement with ordinary people is unusual. He signals a change in emphasis for the church, but according to Father Opalalic, that doesn't necessarily mean a change in doctrine or policy.
The best thing to see in Pope Francis is how to be able to respond to the problems of the world today, yet faithful to the gospel, without changing the doctrine of the church. And that is not easy.
Hi, thanks for joining me today on the Catholic Business Hour. I'm Dick Lyles.
Poway resident Dick Lyles hosts a radio show that offers advice to Catholic businessmen and women. He's a lifelong Catholic and writes a column for the Pomerado News, where he's recently voiced his opposition to Obamacare and the minimum wage hike. Lyles doesn't believe this pope will make substantial changes to church policy.
Most people don't understand the role of the pope. The pope is not the CEO of the church. His role is to really spread the faith and spread the word of God, not to change it and rewrite it and to rewrite history.
The only person who can change church doctrine, says Lyles, is Jesus Christ, because doctrine, he says, is based on the gospel. The Catholic Church is sometimes criticized for not being in step with the modern world, especially on matters of gender equality and sexuality. Lyles doesn't think that's a problem.
Maybe the modern world needs to be more in dialogue with the church.
Others see Pope Francis as a leader interested in making the church more relevant. Sister Maria Pascuzzi is a biblical scholar who taught at the University of San Diego for 12 years. She doesn't think the Pope will allow women priests, but she says there are other options.
It doesn't require ordination to be a theological advisor to the Pope, so maybe he'll choose a woman to be a theological advisor.
Pascuzzi says this pope has a way of touching on ordinary experiences of ordinary people, and that kind of outreach and access is new for the papacy. Back at the church breakfast, parishioners lingered after Mass to enjoy the menudo and enchiladas. Lorenzo Harrison Ford relaxes in the shade. He hopes the pope's popularity helps grow the church.
I think he's a really good poet because the way he's doing things, he's doing it to get people back into the church and to believe into the church, which I think was really good.
Bill Landry and his wife Rebecca have been members of this church for 20 years. I asked Bill what changes he would like to see in the church.
Like maybe priests can become married or, have a little bit of a side family or something like that.
Priest celibacy is a discipline of the church that isn't absolute, but it's been in practice since the 4th century. Ending it would be an extremely bold move by the Pope. Again, Sister Maria Pascuzzi.
All of these things sound like the Berlin Wall, but I think the important thing to remember is that the Berlin Wall was there and there and there and there, And then it wasn't.
No one can predict what changes Pope Francis will make, if any, but he certainly has the world's attention. As millions of Catholics prepare for Christmas, he told an audience this week to put themselves in, quote, the service of the poor this holiday season. Angela Carone, KPBS News.